Hello and welcome to Home Studio Quickies. This time around we are answering questions and diving into audio interface setup just a little bit. Josh R asks, if I want to use a microphone, can I use XLR to quarter inch, or do I need XLR to XLR in for the Scarlett to get the preamp gain stage? That is a good question, Josh. I don't really know from experience if that would work or not. But from what I do know, I can sort of arrive at an answer. Now, if you don't know what Josh is talking about, let me set this over here. He is talking about an XLR to quarter inch would be something like this. This is TRS quarter inch cable. And then the other end is an XLR like this and would plug into a microphone. Now, I'm thinking that it would depend on the microphone you have. This here is an SM58, a very standard dynamic microphone. And I think that maybe, because this doesn't require power, then I think you might be okay to just try your luck at it. It might work. However, if you have a microphone like this, it does require the phantom power. I would probably stick to your typical XLR to XLR cable. They're the two separate ends there. This end plugs into the interface, this end plugs into the microphone. It's got the holes in it. And so pretty much I would just stick with the same standard all the way through with that. So hopefully this helps answer your question. Fuzzy Beats says, hi, I have an audio interface and I'm going to go ahead and purchase this adapter to use my headphones in order to hear my records via my audio interface. Actually, I'm plugging my headphones to the computer to hear my voice. I record with my mic connected to the audio interface, but I can hear only my right ear and not the left one. So would you suggest me to definitely plug in my headphones into audio interface in order to hear a better quality of my records? Is this recommended? Because if it doesn't matter, that means my microphone itself isn't working properly, or I don't know what that might be. Thank you. Well, Buzzy Beats, this is a question. It's not necessary that you do plug into your headphones into your audio interface to hear. If you're doing the editing and the playback and all that, you might not need to plug into the audio interface. You could plug into the computer. I wouldn't recommend it because it's a step down in quality. Usually an audio interface like the Complete Audio or the Focusrite Scarlett, they would have a higher audio quality than what your computer would be outputting. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. You can do that. I have done it. I used to do that using the computer's audio, but not at the same time while I'm recording. That's what kind of you want to get your ASIO drivers for your interface and use it that way. With that, I thought it might be helpful to actually look at setting that up. And I know we've done this before, but if you're unfamiliar with the menus inside of Reaper, or any DAW really, but we have Reaper here, so we're going to open up Reaper. And if you want to play your audio through your speakers or your headphones, whatever your computer's default audio output would be, you're going to click on this little area here at the top right. Now, when you first launch Reaper, it's going to ask you for an audio device. In the dialog box, you'll click on audio device and it will take you to the same place. So if you're going to use your computer's default output for your speakers or headphones, you would click here on audio system, this drop down menu, and you would choose Wasapi. No, that is not a sauce, that's just what they chose to name it, and you can see in the parentheses Windows 7, 8, 10, and Vista. And that is your computer's default audio output. Alternatively, you could use direct sound, but I found that Wasapi has better performance. By default, the input and output channels are set to 2 because most computer audio outputs are stereo. Now, if you're using an audio interface, you're going to select the ASIO option from the drop-down menu. From there, you're going to click and choose your ASIO driver and choose whichever one is your interface's driver. As you can see in my case, I have both the Focusrite and complete audio. And so we're just going to pick one of them. Just know that this is pretty basic for any DAW. It works pretty much the same in Audition, only it's audio preferences, and then you'll select either ASIO or your default options, and you can also adjust your sample rate and other things. On a Mac, the idea would be similar, but hopefully this helps you get some understanding on how to connect your interface. Last question from K9Z. I'm trying to connect my cassette player to my Scarlett. Do you know how I could do it? Essentially, what I'm trying to do is record my samples onto the cassette, then output it onto my DAW. Okay, this is one I really wish I had props for. I do not have a cassette player that I currently own. However, the idea should be similar. So I'm going to guess that you're recording samples with the cassette player and then transferring them to your computer using an audio interface. So what you're going to do is take an 1/8 inch audio cable like this, and then you're going to find an adapter. You're going to put it on one of the ends of your 1/8 inch cable, male-to-male cable, and you're going to plug one end of that into the Scarlett, and then you're going to plug the other end into the headphone jack of your cassette player. You're going to push play, and you're going to push record in your DAW, and you're going to record, and you'll have captured your samples from tape to digital. I actually have done this once when I recorded, I forget what it was, but I had one of those. I played a cassette tape, recorded it, and then I think I gave the person I burned the file to CD or something like that. So it is possible. It's, like I said, pretty simple, just using a cable like this with the adapter, and you should be able to record. All right, well, thank you for joining me. Hopefully this has been helpful in your recording process, your recording journey, and we'll look forward to doing another one of these very soon.